So, welcome to the F6 Introduction and Exam Focus. My name is Carolyn Napier and I'm going to give you this brief outline of F6. We're going to start off by talking about an introduction to F6, and in our introduction we're going to start off by talking about what F6 is all about. So let's first of all talk about what it's all about. First thing we're going to talk about. Well, its name probably gives you quite a good idea about what it's all about. So let's just guide ourselves through what it's all about. This is what we call a skills paper, F6, one of the skills paper, and hopefully some of you will have already done some of the other skills papers, which obviously the objective of a skills paper is to enable you to develop some skills and skills in taxation. So this particular paper is going to aim to develop knowledge about taxation and skills relating to the UK tax system as applicable to not only to individuals but to companies and groups of companies as well. So, I always introduce this particular topic by saying, what is taxation? And obviously we all know that taxation is something that's got to be paid, and it's paid to the government. The government is divided into lots of departments, and the department within the government which is responsible for collecting tax is called Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. And people and companies pay tax to Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and you might ask, what does Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, or the government more particularly, do with the taxes that they've collected? Well, obviously, they have to use that money to provide services to the public, like the National Health Service and education and the Army and the Navy and the Armed Forces. All cost lots of money, and a lot of it is paid for by taxes. So, in this particular paper, it is a computationally based paper. So what that means is that most of the time you will be doing numbers, and there is only to a limited degree an amount of writing. So you need to be good at doing numbers. So I hope you will like doing that. If you do, then you're going to love this subject. So computationally based paper, requiring you to be able to compute tax for individuals and companies as well. The paper requires you to have an understanding of how Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs collects taxes, and obviously one of the objectives of the government is to get the money in on time, the right amount of money first of all, and also to get it in on time, because obviously you need the money in order to pay for the various services that you're providing. So it requires a knowledge of how the tax system works, and particularly the penalties for paying your tax late. The paper is a very rote learning based paper. It requires you to do a lot of learning off by heart. It's a very interesting paper and a very useful paper in real life, so that not only are you able to work out tax for other people and other companies, but you're also able to work out your own tax and to make sure that you're not paying too much. Obviously, we don't mind if we're paying too little, but we do mind if we're paying too much. And this subject will enable you to be able to check that you are not paying too much tax. So that's very helpful. The paper will also assist you in trying to minimise the amount of tax, or defer the amount of tax you have to pay. And one of the important things the examiner wants you to be aware of is the difference between tax avoidance, which is obviously the legal reduction in taxation, and tax avoidance, which is the illegal reduction in taxation. So very important that you know that one is legal The avoidance one is legal, and the evasion one is the illegal one. So it's very important that you know the difference between what is legal and what is not. The next stage of this introduction to F6 is to know exactly what you're going to be learning in this particular paper. Let's now have a look at the syllabus. Now, the syllabus is divided into a number of parts, and all the different parts of the syllabus we have here. So the first part is talking about trading profits and capital allowances and employment income and property business profits and investment income, and this is leading up to something called the personal tax computation, which will enable you to work out one of the taxes which you need to learn about, which is called income tax. I always say to students that all taxes end with the word tax, with the exception of one, which is national insurance. So income tax follows the general rule, and corporation tax and capital gains tax and value-added tax. That's 4 taxes, all ending with the word tax. And then the exception is the national insurance. So we've got income tax and the different components of income tax, and national insurance as well. Another tax is capital gains tax and corporation tax and VAT, and then self-assessment at the end.